obviously I like the tall, slender, brown skin. You know, we have that type. But then that same cat has these characteristics. So I had to draw a line on, okay, he's a slickster. Because I'm like a cocky brother. But he also slick with that tongue. You know, what was the other characteristic? Because I had to really get rid of some of this stuff. The other character, oh, bold. Because I like the strong man. But then he was stupid. You know what I mean? So I had to really assess what the characteristics were that I was attracting and what kind of characteristics they brought. You know, these husky brothers, I like a husky brother. They got bad eating habits. I mean, I'm being real. You know, we all here being real. You want to assess that because to me, health is an issue. I don't want to be fat for the rest of my life, but I'm not going to cook like that for you. So these are characteristics that I have to actually lay out. You know, this is the issue. You know, and then a lot of times they're lazy. So then you get them home, they don't work. You know, I mean, we're gonna be real, but we don't assess those things with women. We just keep going, we just keep courting, and we accept what comes to us because that's what we're used to. And you'll find out that per each woman gets a different man out of a man, and each man will get a different woman out of a woman. So when you assess those characteristics, you actually change also. Number 3, know what you want and what you need. Now, we all know what we don't want. You know, I don't want a brother with a Jerry curl. I do want a brother with big feet. You know what I'm saying? We know what we want. We know what we want. But what we need is something altogether different. Knowing what you need. For example, this is going to sound really bad, but for example, I'm a very strong-willed chick. I know how to submit, but because I'm strong-willed, that means I need a brother who's stronger than I am, who ain't going to beat me down. But I had to assess the fact that I needed someone who could outwit me, is really what it is. Not that he could outgirth me, but that he could outwit me. Because I can be a bit of a slickster myself, which is why I like the slick type. But I needed a man who could see the underlying thing. Because I didn't want to get over him. Because once I get over him, I stop respecting him. You know, you see, you have that cycle. So I had to have someone who could outwit me. Not so much as being empathy, but that who could think. Number 4 is focus on the way a person makes you feel and not the way they look. You may not be that person's first choice either. This was one of the hardest things for me to adapt to my life. Because attraction is everything.
Yes. So are you going to go into how you're supposed to do this? Because
yeah.
That's a...
Yeah.
I want them to look like Memphis.
It's not easy either. It's not easy. It's not easy. Focus on the way a person makes you feel means that you have to first allow the person who is attracted to you come at you. The key to actually not assessing a person the way they look is to see what you're attracted to. Because what we have a tendency to do is we don't like the way we look, we dismiss you. I'm not trying to hear that. I don't care what you say, I'm done with you because you don't look like she said Memphis. You know, I have my other types, but I understand what you're saying. However, if the man is onto you, there's something there that he's attracted to. I like to tell ladies, I have a group called Surpassing Goals. It's a young women's society. Okay? And what I teach them is, if he's attracted to you, respond. Because the art of courting is pursue, respond, pursue, respond. If he pursues you, you may not like him at first, but respond. Now, if he's disrespectful, that's something altogether different. If he's approaching you, you don't want that anyway. I don't care if he's not respectful, we don't want that. However, if he's respectful, if he's pursuing, respond. Number one, because he's showing you that he wants you. The man's mind is like this. First they want you. Then after they want you, they need you. Then after they need you, they realize they love you. They show love by loyalty and commitment. But first, they have to want you. They don't never like you. They just want you. So if he wants you, he's going to be there. He's going to pursue. Now, the art of making a man hunt you is something altogether different. That's not what this is about. This is about being a fan. But the courtship itself always makes it tough because they love the hunt. They love the hunt. A lot of the women now, what we want to do is we want to be the pursuer. We want to give them our number because we're chasing. We're going after the ones we're attracted to, which is one of the reasons why we're not getting the right man, is because we're going after the ones we're attracted to. When you go after the ones you're attracted to, you're basically saying, I want you. I have decided that you have what I need. He's not saying to you that I have what you need or what you want. What you're saying to him is, I know that you have it. And then when we get him, we try to make sure that they have it. But had he been pursuing us, he would have made the sacrifice to be in that relationship. Because when they want something, they're relentless. Relentless. So what happens is, once you get them involved, you start realizing that you might like them. But there's nothing wrong with making them pursue you. Make them boogers pursue you. And when I say hunt, it's really hard because when I first started courting the man that I was courting, our emotions get involved so quick. And I had to play games with myself. And one of the games I played was, I wouldn't text him unless he texted me first. I wouldn't make any contact unless he contacted me first. Okay? I don't care if it was 4 days. I'm not contacting you. Because if you want me, you're going to contact me. Now the days, we've been talking for a year. It'll be a year in the end of August. Not one day has went by. He has not said good morning in a year. And he knows now, if he don't say good morning, I ain't talking to him. And if he tried to play, you know, he went 2 days and didn't talk to me. 2 days, I ain't talking to him either. You know, and it was hard. Was it hard? Absolutely it was hard. And sometimes he'll respond to me. You know how people respond and you think you have to respond back? Sometimes he'll respond to me, I won't say nothing. I ain't got nothing to say. But that puts him in the heart. Because then he's saying, well, why didn't you respond? You know, is everything okay? Everything's fine. I ain't got nothing to say. But it keeps them engaged. It keeps them there because we have a tendency, we will chase a brother. And we don't even give him opportunities to really get to want us. And if he don't want us, there's not that value. Does that make any sense? Any questions so far?
What if you're not a chaser? You never have to.
Not a chaser?
No, and they just think that you have. I don't know. I guess they just think, yeah. They just think you should.
Yeah, that's a good question. How do you show interest without pursuing? How do you do just enough so they'll know that you're interested without you actually doing pursuit? You know what I mean?
No, I do know what you mean. It's a field test. Each man is different. Each man is different. Some men are needy, and if you like that sort of thing, then that's okay. And some men are pretty self-sufficient. If they're needy, you have to engage more, which means you have to ask open-ended questions to keep them engaged, which means you're not pursuing, but keeping them engaged. So, which you're trying to get to know them anyway, and typically, like after 4 months, you're pretty much in smooth sailing. Now, I shouldn't be telling you this stuff, because you're talking about being found. But if you can keep them engaged, consistently for about 4 months, you can get through the year. You can pretty much get through the year. Now, I'm not saying, now this is in a relationship, I'm not saying as your significant one-on-one, because that's something totally different, because men are, you know, men are men, especially in the 21st century. But if you stimulate their mind and keep them engaged, they'll stay because they like to be challenged. One of the things that we do is that this was really hard for me. I'm glad you brought that up. One that was really hard for me was keeping them around because I don't have sex. So that was really hard. You know, how do I keep them around without having sex? And I actually had to ask my uncle. It's not hard, you know. And he said to me, if he wants you, that won't even matter. Now, am I saying that he's only going to sleep with you? I'm not saying that. However, if he wants you, he'll stay there. So then as a woman, you have to decide, because I'm also, he's my friend, not my man. Because in courtship, he's not mine. We're courting. I'm courting him. Some other cats. But he is, that's my one. If that makes any sense. But I don't sleep around. Now, if he sleeps around, that's between him and them girls. That's their business. I don't want to know. You know, whatever. When we're together, we're together. When we're in this moment, that's our moment. And that's consistent. So you have to make a decision if you want to be in relationship with the man in the 21st century, because I'm going to be black and white. I'm going to be living in the 21st century. They want more. They want more. But keeping a man engaged is not hard. You just have to ask a lot of open-ended questions. And if you stimulate that conversation within that time frame, you've done enough. And then when you talk to them again, open-ended questions, keep them stimulated, and then just don't be dumb.
I was gonna say, so like in a situation where, say it's even before you get to the point of like talking to someone, having the ability to sit down and ask those questions. So I want to make sure I understand what you're saying, because I don't know if people can relate to this, but sometimes for me there's instances where in my head, and I don't know if I'm just trying to convince myself this, but I'm like, I really think that that person is interested, you know, and I think this might have been kind of what you were saying, but I get what you're saying, like you don't want to be the person that chases them, but is there wrong in making it to where the person can see that you're interested in them, or does that then become the chase?
No, you want to show you're interested.
Right.
No, you want to show you're interested.
Right.
If you're interested,
and I have a problem. I'm like,
if you're interested, you want to be interested.
right.
You just don't want to.
It seems like there's a thin line between showing interest and being the pursuer.
There
You know what I mean?
There is a
So
thin
how
line.
you maintain
The thin line is, as long as he's responding, you're good. Okay. As
But
long
that doesn't necessarily make you the pursuer.
No.
How do you maintain that line between showing interest and not pursuing?
Is he responding to you?
They respond.
That's what
They respond when you pursue. They respond.
Well, here's the thing. Whoever makes the first move is the pursuer. So if you're making the first move, you're the pursuer.
So I guess it's enough to show interest. If they text you, text them back.
Absolutely.
That's enough to show
Yes.
interest. Okay.
Always. That's what I'm saying. Always. Always.
But not right away. Wait like 10 minutes.
Right. And I don't even play that game. That's a game. That 10-minute crap, that's a game. If they text you, you like them, text them back.
Okay.
That's a game. But let them text you first.
Okay.
Never take a man's phone number, give him yours.
Right.
If you really want to see if he likes you, just give him your first and last name.
See if you can find you.
See, and tell him Google works. Do you see what I mean? What I'm saying is not make the first move, ever. If something has lacked, because we have that issue where there's that situation where there's that, you can feel it, there's that time frame, give it to him. Give him his space, because he's probably testing you to see if you're going to give him his space. Give him his space. Then when he comes, respond. Don't play games. Just make them pursue. Games is what little girls play. Women make men want them. Number 5. Change your mind. If you think there aren't any good men or women, then there isn't. You are what you think. I know most black women in the world are saying there's no good black Stop saying it. And don't let your friends say it around you. Because it's a breeding cancer. And they are helping you keep men away. So if you hear someone say that's not true. That might be your issue, that's not mine. And start saying that. When they say it back. I don't have that issue. Even if you had it, from this point on, you don't have that issue. I don't have that issue. I only attract good men. That's your issue, that's our mine. And like I say this all the time. My girlfriend say, I ain't seen no good men. I say, I only attract him. That's all I know. All the men in my life are good men. I don't know a man that's not. And to be honest, now that's the truth. I started saying it wasn't so true. But now it is the truth. All the men in my life, that's right. Because you are what you think. All the men in my life are great men. They take care of me, and I'm talking about my Devin. He's like my brother. I don't have to want or worry for nothing. The guy in the court, I don't have a debit card in my pocket right now with my name on it. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I changed my mind. When you change your mind, your situations will change. I decided that this is what I wanted, and I spoke it into existence. The Bible says death and life is in the power of the tongue. So, I take the word for literal. I don't take the word for being a nice written book. And if that's the case, then if you speak it, it will happen. I don't know if you guys have ever read the book The Secret, which is the law of attraction. This how to attract a man comes from the law of attraction. This is just written from that book. I adapted some of it when I started it, but it's written. Now, how to attract a man, these laws are the same laws that my girlfriends use. One of them is married, and one of them's been in a relationship for a year, and one of them we just praying for her. She tells me all the time. I wake up every morning and say my affirmations, but nothing's happened. I say, you don't believe it. You just saying them, you know. You stop just saying them. I see you guys just like, I want that life. Want your own life.
Right.
Because you don't want what I went through to get my life. Change your speech. Begin to say you are available for healthy relationship, and there are plenty of good men and women available. So once you change your mind, you change your speech. And the key is, I should have actually did that. The opposite, you change your speech, you change your mind, because what you think is what you say. However, we have a tendency to talk before we think. And as ladies, we need to learn how to think more, talk less. I know y'all heard that a lot today, think more, talk less. Practice it. Practice thinking more and talking less. One of the things that my friend says to me all the time is he enjoys me because he can talk to me. One of the biggest reasons why we have a relationship is because he can talk to me. I have passwords to everything he owns. Facebook, Twitter, I was in his Facebook today, changing some things. You know, he wanted me to change some things, I was changing some things. But he knows that, number one, if I saw anything, I'm not going to speak it. Because he trusted me to give it to me. He didn't trust it to me to confront him. He trusted it to me to handle something. But we have a tendency to talk before we process. So learn to process and then speak. And if you guys aren't taking emotional intelligence, I don't know what's next on your class, but when we do this again, you want to take that class, because what he's teaching is that women are extremely emotional and they're not always rational. So you want to, before you react, assess. And then, after you assess, you get some counsel. Sometimes you go to an older person or someone that's married and say, you know, this is how I'm feeling, is that right? Not the girls, because they're going to validate it and it ain't right. Don't call you girls. You get a mentor, get a love relationship mentor, which would be someone who's married, someone who's been in a relationship for a while, and allow them to mentor. When we have issues, that's one of the things I do. I talk to my mom. But when I have that thing where I'm like, I know he did, I call my mom first. My mom said, no, you bugging. Leave that man alone. And so I just let him go. But I always talk about it. I don't care what it is, I still bring it up. Timing is everything. Try something new. If you are at the same place, doing the same things, you will meet the same man. So if you're going to the same place, with the same people, doing the same thing, that's why you keep meeting the same person. Do something different. Get out of your box. Yeah, if you're not getting out, ain't nobody looking for you. It don't magically happen, honey.
They don't just knock on your door.
I mean, it can happen, but since that would be the extreme and not the norm, you want to be in the norm. So yes, you need to get a hobby. And for some of those women who don't have hobbies, get a hobby. Men like women who are doing something or are about it. We got something going on. As soon as I started doing what I was doing, I had dudes coming out the woodwork. They still do it. But you know, I still respond. But when you're out there and you're doing something and you're committed, what you're showing them is that you're a builder. And they want to have someone they can build something with. Okay? And don't talk to a man if he ain't got no goals, and make sure they're written down. I'm just sidebarring. That ain't it. I'm just sidebarring. If a man telling you he like you, ask him, what's your plan? Is it written? Let me see it. It's almost like being tested, right? Where's that? Remind people that you are available. Don't be afraid to get hooked up. Now, here's the reason why. People hate the hookup. Everybody hates the, oh, I got a friend I want you to meet. Everybody hates that. It turns out bad, right? However, when you meet someone, you've just opened yourself up to meet somebody else. Like if you have money in the bank, it's more applicable for you to get more money in the bank. It's the same thing with me. Somebody wants you, somebody else don't want you too. And anyway, you gotta eat. Movies is always great. I love stimulating conversation. Even if you're dumb, just enjoy the conversation.
Enjoy laughing.
Yeah. And when it's over, be like, that dude was dumb. Don't tell your friend to hook you up, though.
Right.
Because then she won't hook you up again. But you see what I'm saying? If you tell your friend that hooked you up that you didn't like them, then they're going to be less likely to hook you up again. But you never know. One of those hookups might be the right hookup. So you want to remind people. And I'm not really single, but I'm still single. So I remind people I'm single. On my Facebook every now and then I'll put, I'm single. Every now and then I'll put, I'll say I'm dating by referral. If you have a referral for me, let me know. So my girlfriend would be like, I got this dude I want you to meet. I'm like, girl, please. But remind the people in your circle you're available and you're single, because they do forget. Believe it or not, they forget. They forget you're single. However long you've been single, they don't forget. You'd be like, I'm single, right? You don't know nobody. You don't know nobody. You need to broaden your circle. You need to meet somebody. You ain't never hooked me up. Say that. You ain't never hooked me up. You don't know nobody. If they married, they know somebody. They know somebody. Tell them, I'm getting back in the market. Hook me up tomorrow. Put the pressure on them. Affirmations. Write affirmations that will affirm your great relationships and say them every day. I want you ladies to do that today. Write your affirmations. And if you don't know what an affirmation is, it means that you're writing it as if it's done. For example, what I say is, Lord, I thank you for my great relationship. I thank you for my husband. I thank you for choosing the man for me. I thank you that we're married, we're happy, we have children, and that we have a successful business. Now, I ain't got a husband, no kids. Well, I do have a son, but you say it in first person like it's already done. And the more you say it, the faster you'll see it happen. And if you don't have affirmations for your regular life, as a person, you want to do that also. It'll change your life. And you need to say them every day. Did I say that? Say it again. What did I say?
Affirmations, saying every day.
All right. When we gonna do that?
Today.
All right. Be excited every time you meet someone new. An opportunity must be taken in the moment of the opportunity. So, for example, today I think we had 28 men in here. I think we counted 20, something like that. Whenever you say hi to someone, I don't know if you guys watch me. Whenever I say hi to someone, I have a big smile on my face, and I was like, because every chance that I meet someone is a chance for me to meet someone else, or an opportunity for them to connect me to someone else. Just by that first hello. Networking is key to everything. Business, life, if you want to do anything, anywhere, you need to learn to network. But you have to be excited at the opportunity to meet people. So whenever you meet someone, first think to yourself, be sweet. Say to yourself, be sweet, be sweet, be sweet. Yeah, say it, be sweet. See how you smiled when you said that? I want you guys to say that every time when you get ready to meet someone, say be sweet, because it'll internalize to you, and that's what it is. Have a love goal. Write down immediate goals and long-term goals for your relationship. And a love goal just means if you want to be in a relationship, you want to write, I want to be in a relationship, let's say, in the next 3 years. Now, it's not to be discouraged, it's just to keep you focused. And then, what does that relationship look like? You want to write that down. If you're going on dates and you're having a good time, whatever you want from your relationship, you want to write that as a goal. I want us to communicate well. You know, be specific. Be very specific. And then long term, if you're looking to get married, you want to write it down. I'm looking to be married. I want so many kids. I want him to work a decent job. I mean, be specific, but be rational. Be reasonable. I want him to work a job. I want us to have an effective relationship. I want us to have business together. Whatever that is that you want, have your goals for relationships. You heard me say that 100 times a day. Women, we don't have goals for relationships. Absolutely. You love relationships. So you want to, when you're writing your affirmations, you want to do that too. You want to do that when? Today. All right. And for the very end, begin to dream again. Dreaming is free, and if you can visualize yourself in it and happy, you can have it. So I want you to think after you've written your goals and after you've written your affirmations, I want you guys to sit back and see yourself in it. Sit back and actually let your mind wander to that great man and that great relationship with that great family, with him going to work and you staying home, because that's my goal. But whatever, and that's good. Whatever your goal is, but I want you to visualize yourself in it. Because if you can actually see yourself in it, you can have it. So, if you guys want me to email this to you, you want to text Use Wisdom to 2282. Maybe it's 2282.
It's 22828.
The last 8 is questionable, right? It's either 2282 or 2282.
I'm going to tell you. I believe it's 2282. And it's Use Wisdom.
Time's up. Time's up.
2282.
Time's up.
Use Wisdom.
Time's up.
Thank you.
Time's up.
My email address is usewisdom@aol.com.